that lobby real soon. Everyone just kind of dropping the R for ready in the lobby. But what do you think about the match today? Think
Yeah,
it'll be a
so I
close
think
one?
that the match today is going to be fairly one trick kind of champions on the one side, and then the other side might be a little bit more. I think the U of M has got a really good team comp in regards to the way that they've played in the past. Both teams have a good record. U of M is 4-0 right now, and the Pennsylvania is 4-1. So there's quite a bit of kind of good things from both sides. But we'll get into the little picks and bans right now. We've got, first off, they banned out the one trick Ari, and the one trick Kled went down. And then from Pennsylvania side, they took out the Galio pick.
I'm always interested to see just like how do the one tricks cope? Do they just play a champion that's identical to their one trick, or they just straight up play their second best even if it's not meta, or do they just pick a meta pick and cross fingers it goes well?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know that they've gotten rid of Janna, which is kind of Mel's life. She's known for playing that champion. And then with the Ari and the Kled, they got rid of the one trick. So we'll see what they pick. I'm assuming something of, well,
Pretty standard Sejuani.
yeah, we haven't seen her before, I think, ever in any LCS game or in the meta at all. This seems
No.
like off the wall pick. Never expected this one. Sorry for everyone, that's a little bit too much sarcasm. But yeah, Sejuani, first pick up from the University of Manitoba. We're gonna pick that one up on the jungler there.
Yeah, and like you kind of can't go wrong with Sejuani. It's so safe. You can engage, disengage. Like even the nerf on the Q dash, it didn't do that much.
I mean, she brings everything your tank needs out of the jungle, right? With the tankiness, the ability to CC people, and
Yeah,
fairly
good
good
clear.
like clear. So it's pretty good. So you've got
It's got everything you want.
yeah. On the University of Pennsylvania side, they've picked up the Tom Kench and the Ornn. So we're looking here at pretty good pickups for their team. They're
Yeah,
going.
solid front line. I don't know about this cog pick right here with
Well,
the
looking at
recent nerf. That was a
yeah.
huge nerf from 7% to 5% at level 5 on a W. Yeah, that's massive. Like you effectively lost 30% of your magic damage right there.
So the hyper carry cog is slightly less than maybe the old cog did. But
Well, he'll just spike less hard around the mid game with Ginsu's and whatever his second item might be with the level 9 W, and it just won't do as much damage. But as we look at Pennsylvania's uh, team comp right now, it's got a lot of tanks anyways, so the magic shredding will do quite a bit until later in the game where they optimize into MR.
That percent health will be still useful. Even though it's not as strong as it used to be, it'll still be strong. And you've got the Lulu buffing up the cog. You'll be able to speed him up, keep him up close enough, and make him just a giant thing. Yeah. And then, so you see they got rid of the Varus there. They're getting rid of maybe some of the other picks that'll be hyper carry kind of Rage Blade abusers.
Yeah, kind of just
like
picking off limiting the 80 carry pool of Pennsylvania. And I think the Limitless, which is the 80 carry, I'm guessing?
I believe
so. Let's see how limitless he is.
Yeah. So
what is his
he plays Jinx a lot, so I would expect the Jinx pick here.
Wouldn't say I think it'd be pretty good overall. You have a Tom Kench to protect you. You have a solid front line. I'd say there's a little bit of a lack of CC if Ornn's not in the team. Because if, assuming he's off on the side lane, split pushing or trying to match.
Okay.
Wow, this is quite the run at them team so far. I really like it. This Sivir, this has to be a good pick.
Okay. Oh, I'm not convinced that the Sivir is a better pick than the Jinx, just based on the team comp so
You can
far.
match it with the Tom Kench, like just run them forward, just run people over. And Shyvana really loves that movement speed too. Like if she can get on people, she does a ridiculous amount of damage, especially if she's allowed to actually farm up.
Yeah, but I also think you're running into a comp that wants you to run into them. Well, if you look at
now with the Orianna, yes.
Yeah, they would love for you to engage and let the Kog'Maw kite backwards while pinging your tank's percentage health damage. And then the solid Sims Camille that has single-handedly carried games at points this season. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to do top lane versus the Ornn. I know Ornn kind of makes that matchup slow and maybe a little bit boring, but Camille is one of the champions that just can outscale and split push really hard against almost any champion in the game.
Let's see what the last pick here is for Pennsylvania. Probably their mid pick. And it's gonna be Talia. This last second swap to Anivia. I'm not too sure about this one. Kind of a lack of synergy here, but we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, this is we'll look at the two comps here. From the side of the University of Manitoba, we've got a pretty standard protect the Kog'Maw comp with a Lulu support, and then your Sejuani just being your front line. Camille's gonna try and split push, so it looks like a 4-1 kind of thing.
Yeah, the U of M comp was it's very well rounded. It's got kind of a bit of everything you want. It's got the engage, it's got a split pusher, it's got a hyper carry, a strong mid laner. Like, it's a good comp. And on Pennsylvania's side, everything was going great until the mid lane pick. It just doesn't seem it's a very good match. I'm like, yeah, you can play Anivia, but it doesn't pair well with Sivir, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, maybe Anivia's gonna try and build a wall, so it forces everyone to either flash or leave their carries on the other side.
Yeah, the wall's gonna help a lot if the carries don't have flash, specifically Orianna or Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
And kind of everyone else that has a dash. We're like, well, you're not really caring too much about the Lulu until she starts buffing the Cog.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm not gonna say it's a great pick, but I think there are niche places where it could work.
I think they're gonna have to skirmish a lot. Shyvana skirmishing and Anivia possibly working with the Shyvana to skirmish as well. But if that Camille gets big for the Ornn, that's also gonna be another problem.
Yeah, the Tahm Kench might be able to help mitigate that a little bit by bringing someone up to help out if things get crazy.
Pressure.
And then Anivia can wave clear for days. So if you get into a siege situation, you just kind of sit back, let your ultimate take the minions out, and you can keep scaling. So I guess the question is, who do you think scales harder to the late game? Because I know Sivir, 6-item Sivir is those ricochets are something of.
Oh yeah, 6 crits and ricochets. Sivir is what pretty much the best AD carry stalling. She gets a static shiv and builds crit. You press W, you auto attack the wave, and they're just ricocheting off 20 minions or something. And if they're all in your base, and she ends up with like 1,000 CS, like that just kind of happens, and we've seen that happen. Those world record games.
And the disengage from the Pennsylvania team is also not that bad, with Kench able to eat someone if they get CC'd by Sejuani. Like if Sejuani ults anyone and Tahm Kench is close, Tahm can just eat them, and then you kind of lost your engage. But we'll see how it goes. Tahm Kench is one of those kind of like blocking supports where you try and do something and Tahm Kench kind of just says no and eats that champion you were trying to do.
In a straight 5v5, I like Pennsylvania's engage a little bit better because Ornn's ult it's got way too much range. And it's pretty much undodgeable. So you're pretty much going to guarantee a slow or two on someone, and then Shyvana possibly a knock up on top of that. And that comes from the backside and then from the front, whereas Sivir just runs at you. So that's a really nice kind of like 5v5. I can pincer you from behind and from the front.
Especially
that's really gonna mess with Cog and Orianna. Like that's the slow and allowing just people to run at you. And if Storm Skills isn't positioning the ball too correctly or Pennsylvania spaces out properly, I think they can actually just straight up run them over.
And I think at that point you're looking at once Ornn gets a knockup, you can look at Shyvana flying in. Even if Orianna does ult, she's gonna keep coming. Like you can't stop that. It just goes. So you're gonna end up with a Shyvana on your face.
Yeah, she'll probably have a Titanic Hydra just shredding the front line, even hitting the back line a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, it all depends on.
Yeah, it's all going to be on this early and mid game. If Shyvana gets that early drag or two, just getting that little bit of extra tankiness, and who's going to be strong at the start, which player and which champion will be really how it's going to shape up the mid game by a lot. But I think if a team was then, and even both teams can stall pretty well. Like you have Sivir with wave clear, Anivia with stalling wave clear, Cog with Runans eventually clears really well, and so does Oriana. So, this game can really go either way. It can go early, mid, or late, and at all
And I don't
points
think
it's got strengths.
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear advantage at any point. We're not saying, oh, this is a mid-game comp that has to win here. It's one that either team can win at any point. It's not a, oh, we can scale for late and then eventually just win because we have this jam. It's now, we'll see how I think the split pusher is going to be a really big factor on this game. Whether Harris Sim can get ahead or fall behind, that will kind of make or break the comp that Manitoba can run there.
Yeah, if Pennsylvania managed to get the Ornn ahead on Camille, and Ornn does a decent amount of damage, then he'll just have the TP super range engage to help out the other four, possibly collapse onto the other part of the team, and that's gonna be pretty painful overall.
Mm-hmm.
But if Camille gets ahead, I think it's a bigger advantage than if Ornn was ahead for his team. Specifically because Camille can just rip towers down faster.
Mm-hmm. I also think that Ornn is a significantly less gold dependent champion. His power comes from his abilities and the amount of CC he brings to a fight. And while Camille also brings CC to a fight, she's gonna be in the team, not as tanky and trying to just delete either Anivia or Sivir or whoever she can get her hands on, basically. And so those ones are kind of more difficult. And we'll see. I'm kind of interested in seeing if we'll ever get to see a Camille ult on a Tahm Kenchu's Eden someone, because it's a very unique interaction.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never
and
seen it before.
Both teams have 3 damage threats, so if we're gonna compare frontline and damage threats, I'd probably give it to Pennsylvania, honestly. Like, you have a Shyvana and Sivir pretty much stacked on top of each other, and the Anivia will more or less naturally peel with her ult and the Flash Frost stun.
I think the execution of the Pennsylvania comp is significantly simpler than what the U of M needs to make their comp work. Just based on pressing R as Ornn, pressing R as Shyvana, pressing R as Sivir. It's a lot more simple than if Storm Skills catches a few sombreros, if Harrison chooses a bad ult target or a bad TP place. It's just a lot harder to execute comp on the side of U of M.
They got that wombo combo-ness. They can wombo combo. Although, I feel like with Oriana, you can wombo combo anything. Pick a person with a dash and then ult.
Throw it on to the Camille
Rengar.
as she dives
Sejuani.
in. Yeah. Sejuani would get in there, yeah.
Alright, so the game's finally started.
You can see kind of standard starts.
Yeah. You just want to make sure there's no crazy invades. I really want to know... this game is largely dictated by what Shyvana does in the early game. If she does choose to gank and not really power farm as much, power farming is a very solo queue thing to do.
Mm-hmm. But it's also Shyvana, and Shyvana likes to be level 6 because she doesn't offer that much pre-6 for her ganks. And the amount of CC is going to be kind of limited unless you land your stun from Jacarith's Anivia, or if you get, by a crazy chance, you're able to lick the person 3 times and eat them. With the
I think if Shyvana visits any lane, it's most likely going to be not only is it just a close proximity from both top and bot jungle, there is no dash for the Oriana. And she will most likely be pushing until 6, because Anivia just doesn't really push back very well against that.
We'll see Storm Skills' ability in the mid lane to
manage the wave.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the blue start on the red side, and University of Manitoba leashed Sejuani on the blue as well. So we're going to actually have opposite jungle paths.
I really would like if Shyvana did visit the mid lane with red, because then and if you manage to blow that flash, it gives so much leeway room for the Anivia to farm as well. Just being able to wall someone off and cut their path off if Shyvana comes back again, just the chance of that threat, then you're like, okay, well, now I can't play as aggressively. and sit back.
Oh, we see the Orianna take quite a bit of damage there. Anivia gets some traded back, and we're having the Shyvana go up to that red, and we'll see what her pathing is after the red. It could be an interesting mid lane gank because they've been trading fairly heavily, both down to half health here.
Yeah, and but the Jackarith does have TP, whereas Storm Skills does have heal. So one combat summoner for the chance to just kind of come back, top up your mana or top up your health. And Shyvana can definitely gank either of these. Can even gank top. If that hook shot is down, then quite an easy gank for him. But they're brawling quite a bit up in the top lane there.
And neither of them getting a strong advantage because Ornn is doing Ornn things, and Camille just is trying to heal up off of him in the wave.
But that's a massive wave left for Ornn. And then the numbers are even. So Ornn's going to have 2 or 3 waves up there for himself, while Camille was paying attention to trying to harass more. So I think Ornn overall wins out through that just to kind of get more farm.
And you'll notice that Shyvana is also on the top side, so you might... oh, she looks like she's back.
Yeah, she's pretty low after that full clear. Okay, 320, oh, full clear.
I'm glad to say that Storm Skills' mana is kind of dangerously low. He's been shoving the in. They're trading very close to death for the Storm Skills and Yeti in the mid lane there, but neither of them really have enough to finish that off.
Yeah, and Storm Skills can heal if he really needs to, but now Jackarith could go back and just kind of come back. Oh, he's going to go for this play. I don't know about that one. Now he's going to get egged here? Oh,
No.
I'm impressed that Storm Skills with the patience there, knowing it's not the next auto's not going to kill him. Didn't pop a potion, didn't heal, didn't flash, didn't do anything. Just like, oh, this guy missed. So I'm just going to walk away from this.
Yeah, so the Anivia with the lack of flash is really gankable in the lane now. We'll see if Slade is able to make a gank on that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll punish that, because a flashless mid laner that has no kind of escape routes.
And is also incredibly slow.
Indeed.
It looks like he's coming around his jungle pathing to be there. He's going to see that there's no camps available on the top side.
Yeah, he's just dropping vision down right now, so I really kind of like Slade's movement right now. Top lane is pushing out for Pennsylvania, so he's going to try and do a wraparound, maybe make a gank, but great guy. He's going to sit in the bush, recall, back to base, play it safe. No need to be that far up. Don't know where the jungler is. Wave's pushing so far, no vision.
Yeah, so this is going to be able to give a little bit of a minion advantage to Camille, but neither of them have been racking up that many minions in this early laning phase.
Jackarith is going to get collapsed on by Slade right now. When will Director Camp it? There it is. And he's going to try to go. There's the flash, the engage. Will the stun land? Oh, Flash Frost going on to Storm Skills, but there still is no flash. Yeti wants to come back in. Here's TP coming in from Great Guy, but it should be the first blood for U of M. And they're going to try and keep going on to this. Slade does not have flash. He did use it onto the Niven. There goes Summoner Heal. Try and get him away, but there's one more flash for the knockup from Yeti. Will it be enough to smite? But the slow keeping Yeti away. And they do manage to get the first blood and even pick off a couple flashes and a TP. So, very good for the U of M right there.
You're able to see that the Sejuani, the tankiness, is able to get out. Use the smite to get the extra heal off the Raptors. Use the heal from the Orianna to stay alive. But all those summoners result in the 1-for-0 trade and first blood going over to the Orianna. That'll give her a really strong laning phase here. She's able to pick up the lost chapter there, which is really helpful for those mana problems early game.
Yeah, and because Great Guy did TP in and didn't really get anything for it, he's now down 19 CS, which is pretty massive. And as the wave's dying at his tower, that's just brutal. Like you don't really want to be in that position. You picked up parts of a catalyst, whereas Harrison has a sheen, so he's gonna have a lot more trading potency.
And this is kind of what we'd expect from the Ornn, where the Ornn is really like a team fighter, and Camille is looking to get ahead here. So Pennsylvania played a little bit into that by giving the freeze to the Camille and then TPing away from that wave and like, crashing into the tower. Really kind of cut Great Guy down at the knees and gave Camille this extra power that she wasn't having from early pressure. They were even in CS, they were even in items, all that sort of thing. But now they've given Camille this little bit of advantage. We'll see if she can punish that and expand the advantage.
Yeah. And that's an early Cloud Drake, so I feel most teams don't really prioritize it as much, although it does have quite a few of its strengths in terms of its ganking potential, increasing ganking potential, roaming potential. So I think it's more valuable for Pennsylvania to pick that one up.
Mm-hmm.
If they do, especially with not like even if it wasn't the Shyvana, I still think Pennsylvania would benefit greatly from the Cloud Drake.
They've pinged it, but it doesn't look like they have vision control or anything around it yet. So Shyvana's up on the red buff.
Do you call it Cloud? Do you call it Drake or Dragon?
I call it Drake, but
really, I heard that was an EU thing where you just keep calling it Drake.
Maybe it is an EU thing. I'm not sure. Yeah. We got a little bit of trading going on the top side of the map. A giant Ornn ultimate that comes onto the Orianna. She massive shockwave on 2 of them.
Oh, but Shitty going in, and he gets stunned up, but is not looking good. There goes to Camille, and he's gonna hook shot in onto Great Guy as well, and he's gonna not flash as well. But here comes the Orianna, all the Glacial Stun. Will they be able to pick up the Slade? Trade kill onto Slade. One more auto attack. There it is. But Harrison picks up the kill, but stunned up under the tower and taking one last tower shot there. So that's actually a 3 for 2. And Jackarith back in the game, although he wasn't really much out of the game earlier, even though he did die.
It's important to note that 2 of the kills went on the Camille, where the Ornn got killed and only got 2 assists. So Ornn's gonna be having an issue. I mean, if I can take this mid tower or put some damage on it, that'll be helpful. Looks like they're moving off.
I think they're gonna opt into the dragon here instead. Yeah. They're probably gonna find it a little bit more valuable. Like, yeah, you can get tower damage, or you can actually get an objective, which is kill the dragon.
Harrison unfortunately was gotten stunned up by the Jackarith underneath the tower there, which was able to give them the trade, the 3 for 2 at the end of that fight at mid lane.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good overall for U of M. I'm not too sure if they started that fight. I just know it started in the river. Director Cam was kind of looking at bot lane at the time, so like see how that one started off.
I believe that the Ornn started off with his ulti to get it. Oh wow, flash out of Kog'Maw. He zoomed.
It was a polymorph onto Limitless, but even then, Andrew 4-3-4-6. We're just gonna call him Andrew.
Yeah.
He had flash, so even then
and
you can see the Bio Arcane Barrage, like, oh, what's this guy doing? So
yeah. Just an odd flash.
Yeah, I think people are just kind of, you know, when the nerves get to you, you're like, man, if I just get that one more auto, or if I get one more ability in, like, maybe I can get there. And they kind of miscalculate it. Maybe if they were more calm, they'd know, like, yeah, it probably wouldn't have worked, so why would I do it?
We gotta see Storm skills getting eaten here with the crit damage from the Icicle of Anivia.
Oh,
baited.
Nicely played from Slade over there, landing the Glacial Prison under the tower on top of that, and Jackarith just going a little too far, but he just had those red auto attacks, and it just looks so juicy, and he's so low, but and that's kind of just what happens when you don't respect the jungler. If you take that chance, and sometimes it bites you in the butt, and other times it pays off because it was so risky, but the reward was worth it.
Yeah, we've got the Monrel and Omicron finished on Orianna as a result of that, so she's gonna come back to lane against just a tier blasting wand Anivia. So she's got a significant power spike comparatively. So we'll see if she can punish that. She's been really punished by the Anivia with the wall into stun combination multiple times. We'll have to see if that becomes an issue later on in the game where Storm Skills might just get zeroed out by the Anivia with a move like that.
Oh, and they seem to catch Yeti in the pit, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be it. I don't think U of M is going to keep going on to the Rift Herald here. I don't think so.
Everyone's going back to their lanes and relaxing after Yeti had used the ultimate to escape.
So look at CS numbers. Slight lead in the mid lane. Kind of natural as the early no-game flash and 2 deaths on Jackarith. But bot lane going pretty even overall. slight advantage
we're-
for bot lane of Pennsylvania. They had the kill and 2 assists on top of that. Pretty nice.
Yeah, we're still looking at about a 2,000 gold lead for them spread across the top laner, the jungler, and the mid laner. But that's kind of where you'd like your power for the split push potential there.
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
it looks like they're able to push the flash out of Jacareth and get him
Yeah,
moving.
and that's just kind of the problem. Like when your top laner is kind of getting shoved in, and they can't get the lane priority back, and that allows Camille to just kind of come down, burn a flash onto the enemy mid laner, and now Slade is gonna have pretty much a free target to hit his glacial prison.
And I think that's what we'll be looking for in the next couple minutes to see if Slade can come back and repeat gank the mid lane and just continue to snowball that early advantage they've been able to pick up there.
Oh, Shockwave coming on that Jacarith, and that's a solo kill from Storm Skills. But up on the top side here, Harrison gonna go use ult onto Yeti, and Yeti doesn't even need to ult or flash. So that's actually super good for Pennsylvania, but there was a trade kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, we're able to see Storm Skills take out Jacareth in the mid lane there, and they're going to press for first tower, it looks like here. You've got kind of a good trade if they're able to, but you see Tom Kenshin is nope ability going on there.
Will they be able to pick up the kill with Storm Skills? No, they won't. But Yeti is kind of right around the corner. Maybe they could have kind of engaged on that. Definitely with On the Hunt. Is that what it's called? Civ Result?
Civ Result on
yeah.
the Hunt.
Definitely could have engaged on that, especially with Jacareth right around the corner.
Yeah, it was a 3v2 fight that could have been taken just outside of tower range, which all points to a good fight for your team, but they decided not to use the ult.
Oh, and there's a deep pink here from U of M, so it does spot out Yeti.
Now you notice that UMB Slade, I believe, placed that one about 10 minutes ago. It is a long-lived ward, that pink ward that sat in that corner brush. Always make sure, junglers, when you're walking through your own jungle between your paths, check that brush. Just if you haven't had control the whole time, if your enemy jungler's been able to get in there, just check it, because yeah, they might have a very valuable pink ward in there that's zapped and gotten vision of you for the last 10 minutes.
So CS numbers are now swinging into the U of M side in all 3 lanes, except for the jungle, but that's kind of expected. Top lane 22 CS lead, mid lane 22 CS lead, and bot lane is very slowly increasing with that Ginsu's power spike, 14 CS lead, and they're all just building up, and we can see it impaired in the 1.6 gold lead for the team overall.
So the next Drake we have here in the next little bit is another Cloud Drake, so it's not going to pull a giant amount of focus. But what do you want to see these teams respectively do as they prepare for the next phase of this game here?
I believe as long as Harrison just kind of keeps playing the high pressure trading top lane and kind of keep it as a 4v4, then I would most likely give it to U of M due to the lack of synergy. But Limitless going to get eaten up here. Glacial Prison went down onto Limitless. And they're going to try and go for an engage, but the turnaround coming out from Pennsylvania, and they want to try and get onto Zeb, but will it be enough? But there's a wild growth going onto Zeb, and he's going to be able to live it through, but Limitless is going to flash forward, trying to keep going onto Zeb, and Zeb is not going to get out. Finally going to get taken out, but oh, they're going to try and go for a 2. That's a 2-for-2 kill, but Shockwave coming up from Storm Skills on 2 men, and he's just trying to keep going, but Zed's solo going to get taken out for one more auto attack, and they want to try and finish off the kill on the Storm Skills, but there's just so much ground going on. It's never actually a full 4v4, and here's Great Guy. He's just punching away at the robot, and it should be enough. Getting away with it, but Harrison, in the meanwhile, takes First Blood Tower on the top side.
So you can see the TP advantage used by Pennsylvania there. They were able to do a 5v4 fight and come out with 3 kills and only lose. Actually, they only lost 2, right? I don't know.
No, just the one. Yeah,
just the one? Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, it ended up being...
but a lot of those kills actually went on to Great Guy, so that's gonna... It kind of neutralizes the First Blood Tower in general, for him specifically. So I think the top lane is still gonna stay pretty neutral overall in terms of lane priority. Well, actually, I lied. It's gonna go in Harrison, so he just pushes better overall.
Yeah, and you
especially
can
with the
see
Triforce spike.
the Kog'Maw there. He's hanging out with his Rage Blade versus the Reaver. Yes, this Reaver is good for Sivir, but Cog with his Rage Blade just wants to walk up and attack you in the face because this is his power spike at 15, 1730 here, and he just wants some fights. You've got Harrison in the bot lane standing on a ward. They're trying to do a 3v2 to get that tower, but Pennsylvania is aware of it and just letting them shove into him. Well,
I think they're gonna get that tower up, trade it off for Rift Herald. Like you don't really have to worry too much about first blood gold, first tower gold anymore. It's already gone. So maybe they can trade the bot turret for the Rift Herald, which translates into either hopefully the mid tower. If not, then possibly the top tower. And it looks like it's gonna be for the top tower.
yes, you can see the Pennsylvania is slightly behind on the tempo of this play because they're going to lose top tower, and you can see Slade has to go top to kind of defend against that Rift Herald. And in the bot lane, Harrison's not being able to dive under that tower. They're not getting a huge amount of tower damage, so we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. I mean, if Storm Skills can solo out Jackrath right now, we're going to be able to see a really big change in the game flow. She does.
Yeah, that's so cool. And they're gonna go with the engage on bot lane, and look at that, just destroyed Mel Life right there with the
Yeah,
solid engage. But
Mel was
again,
just out of
it's just a
position.
1-for-1. Like Storm Skills solo killing Jackarith again. But Tom Catch ulting in, bringing Limitless in with him. Boomerang Blade picks up that kill, and so now that was way better for Pennsylvania. Like it wasn't a 1-for-1; it was a 2-for-1. Yeah. Now they can get possibly mid turret off of this. That's one of their wave clears down, and Zed is in the bot lane. So they could possibly try and put some damage on the tower, but I decided to not go for that one instead.
They were able to get the mid tower down. University of Manitoba was while that entire trade was going on, just based on the damage Storm Skills had put on it. So Storm Skills traded with Jackrath, and then Lulu got caught out of position, and then you see the rotation that Tom allows you to do, and just how quickly you can respond to different areas of the map. And they're able to pick up Storm Skills as another added bonus of that. So overall, the gold lead is still about 3k for U of M, but Pennsylvania is certainly harassing and taking kills for almost every tower that objective they're able to take on this map.
Yeah, and I'd say the game's still pretty close overall. There's a lot of simultaneous action going on. Like sometimes there's a solo kill going on mid, and then there's a team fight going on somewhere else immediately afterwards. Overall, it's a pretty exciting game. 19 kills in 20 minutes, so we've seen pretty much a kill every single minute. Pretty exciting.
This skirmishing style, I think, kind of benefits the University of Pennsylvania with their superior ability to move between lanes. They're just able to get to the skirmishes faster and clean things up.
Yeah, and with the global presence from Tom Kench ult as well. And here they're going to go on to Zev. He doesn't have flash, so here's Limitless just kind of keep beating down on him. There comes the redemption, but he's still alive after all of this, just being auto-attacked by Limitless the whole time, and he should be able to get away. The TP coming in, Jackrath taking so much damage, gonna get taken out, but Andrew is now kind of caught between all the team, and that's a collapse from the U of M, picking up 2 kills despite Pennsylvania starting off that fight, kind of just straight up attacking Zev the whole entire time.
You can see the power of Lulu support going off in that fight, where she just keeps your AD carry alive long enough so that you can turn the fight once everybody... Looks like they're going for a risky Dragon Baron right now.
Yeah, I think Yeti is going to try and go for a steal here. 2.5k. He's hovering around the corner, letting Baron do a little bit more damage. You might want to try and think about team fighting, but Stonekill picks up the kill, and the Baron going off for Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania picks up the Baron. They get the steal, and that brings the game back pretty much to where it was earlier, except Jackrath and Great Guy both have Baron, which is going to help out a lot.
So you can see the risky Baron call there when all 5 members were up, but the Shyvana still had her ultimate, so she was waiting to jump into that pit and take it, just like she did. And unfortunately, U of M wasn't able to prevent that. And so, yeah, we're back to kind of a very similar location we were before. We got the 4k gold lead. We've got the Baron buff now on the side of Pennsylvania, and we'll see if they're able to get anything with it, or if this just ends up being a stalling Baron.
Yeah, it really looked like U of M was kind of stuck between 2 decisions there. Like, oh, we should probably try and kill Shyvana, or like kill the rest of their team before we finish it off, because Baron's stuck at 2.5k for a few seconds. until they decided, like, you know what, let's just finish burning it down. And then Yeti managed to kind of guess correctly. I don't think there was a pink ward or any vision in the pit. So he just ults in, cross fingers it's low enough, auto attack it a few times, and, you know, finish it off, get the steal. So well played by Yeti from Pennsylvania. But if we're going to be looking at some damage threats right now from U of M, if you look at Storm skills, he's got 7, 3, and 4, 2 levels up on Jackarith. So he's looking like a mighty fine threat. But if they do manage to pick him off, as you kind of just run at him, and that's exactly what Oriana wants. So I think Pennsylvania's in a little bit of a rough situation with regards to that. And he has his summoner still.
And Storm skills has been able to kind of pressure that mid lane since almost level 1, and he hasn't ever let up the pressure. He's been able to get the passive out of Anivia almost on cooldown. He's got, I believe, 2 or 3 solo kills on the Anivia, so they were traded back based on the rest of the team collapsing, but it's still not a good matchup for the Anivia at this point. So that's going to be a really strong power spike for the University of Manitoba when they do any sort of team fighting.
Yeah, I think they're really going to need Ornn ult at this team fight. They just need it so badly.
Ornn's trying to go in, but they're looking to take out, fighting over the Baron Dragon right now.
And Slade going right in, and Jackarith, oh wow, just he takes the damage, but he's gonna get out. But they're now jumping onto Andrew right here, and the clap's gonna go onto Andrew. He's taking so much damage, but there goes the flash frost to stop Slade a little bit. Will he keep continuing on to the pressure? But Great Guy looked like he was gonna try and collapse down, and looks like Pennsylvania have split off in a few different directions, but here's willing to try to put some damage back onto Storm skills. They want to try and focus him down, but he's off in the backline. He should be pretty safe overall, but here comes Great Guy, and Zed picks up the kill onto Andrew, and they're just trying to pick up the kill on his Yeti, but it's just not going to be enough, and yeah, Zed picked up the kill onto Jackarith as well.
Unseen in the side of the fight was the unexpected Kog'Maw flank, which was able to collect 2 kills on the backside of that one, giving U of M the win in that team fight. But they just pursued, they kept on him, they kept chasing. The Tom played really well. He grabbed the caught Yeti out of there, but didn't let him get sucked back in, but then got picked off himself and led to his team losing a team fight. Yeah,
I think at that point, like, on the hunt is on cooldown, and you just need to disengage from that fight. There's so many people that are kind of pretty much low, and Slade's just kind of running at you. There's kind of almost no way you can kill that guy, even 4v1 within a few seconds. So it would have been better for Pennsylvania to just disengage that fight.
And so this is when you look at the Sivir's items, right? The Essence Reaver and the Phantom Dancer. And
yeah, he still needs 1 or 2 more items.
Yeah, I'm not seeing how you're going to be able to handle UB Slade with the Warmogs right now, and the Cinder Hulk, because those items aren't what you use to take down tanks. You're missing the Infinity Edge, you're missing another Zeal item. Like, you're not at the point in the game where you can team fight really well with Sivir yet.
So 7k gold lead for U of M, and we're still keeping up that pace with the 1 kill per minute mark.
Yeah, it has not been a clean game by any chance, but I think both teams are enjoying the amount of kills that they're able to pull on some of these characters. I mean, Ornn with 4 kills and 4 assists, he's feeling pretty tanky right now. He's pretty happy about this. Then you look at the Oriana with 8 kills. She's got the 3 items with the Death Cap, the Torment, and the Melanomicon. She's just gonna almost one-shot any of the carries she's able to get her full combo off onto.
And like, we're gonna look at the kill participation. Slade with 13 out of 16 kills, Storm skills with 14 out of 16 kills. So it's really on U of M, like the mid laner and the jungler here. They're just kind of tearing it up overall. And we saw, like, kind of early in the early game where Jackarith was just trying so hard to get the solo kills on the Storm skills, but he's like, no, I don't think you can kill me. I'm just gonna back away from this. And now kind of those tiny little advantages in the small misplays early are kind of really backfiring now as the snowball is complete. But Glacier Prison coming on the Jackarith under the tower, and they're gonna finish that tower off. But will they be able to get out? Here comes the re-engage from Pennsylvania, and they're going to try and get onto Slade, but instead they decide to back away from it. But no, the fight's going back and forth and trying to kite really close, and Stormskill's coming out from the side and wants to try and drop a big fat shockwave. And Andrew's going to eat some Limitless up, but he's pretty much out of the fight, and now Stormskill's being forced to flash away, and this fight is just back and forth, but they got to hit the front line, and there goes the Glacier Prison, slowing down the whole team. Slade coming right down forward. Great Guy in the front, taking it all up. 2-man shockwave, and here's the cleanup from U of M. They just have more damage than Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is like they're trying to keep pace, but they're just behind by too much gold. And I think if Pennsylvania had a little bit more gold there, they probably would have been able to pick the fight up
I
for
think you
them.
can see for them that was probably one of the fights they could take. The Oriana and the Kog'Maw were zoned off by a wall for most of the fight, and you had the Limitless on the Sivir trying to kill the big tanks. Oh, we got a pick here.
And they went for the fight. Actually, Melloc got blasted back into the team from the blast cone. So I don't know if that was intentional or like, oops, misclick, and I just threw myself back into the enemy team. But regardless, that is a kill for Pennsylvania. It's gonna get the small little victories.
Yeah, so we're gonna look here. 20 seconds up on the Baron. They'll be going towards that. But yeah, you could say that that last team fight was exactly what the University of Pennsylvania was looking for in a team fight, where you can zone off the Oriana and the Kog'Maw, just keep them walking. Unfortunately, they didn't have the damage to take out the front line or even the Camille, and you were able to see the Camille get on top of Limitless, the Sivir 80 carry there, and then just at that point, you're running, you're not dealing damage, and the team fight's pretty much lost. So I'm not sure at this point in the game what Pennsylvania needs to do to be able to turn these fights around.
Well, I think they're just gonna have to steal Baron again here. Cross fingers. It is still pretty. It is 30 minutes in. Death timers aren't that long. Like there's a decent amount of time, but they're not 1 minute you're dead. So he could get a steal, possibly respawn and go and defend. But I really think it's really up to this steal from Yeti. Can he do it again?
I don't know if U of M's gonna let him have a chance this time. They've got Camille split pushing the bottom. They're in no rush to start this. Oh, they are. They're starting the Baron.
But the vision is disabled with the control ward in the pit, and Yeti is nowhere near this Baron. So this should be a free one for U of M. And they'll probably meet up with a Harrison to finish off that push. Or even just go mid lane. Match the Jackarith, Glacial Storm, stalling, but if Harrison's on the side, kind of crushing two lanes at the same time, top lane will naturally push in for U of M. So
and this is where you see the wave clear of the Pennsylvania. You see if they're able to handle this siege that U of M's gonna bring, or if they're just gonna get wiped out by it. Ooh, the big chunk by the Oriana there.
Yeah, and Jackrath just taking so much damage, dropping 20% HP left. Oh, it puts the wall down. Stormskills isn't quite in trouble. He actually doesn't have a flash, but a lot of the U of M, it's kind of like popping over the walls like, no, we got you, buddy. Like, you're the carry right now. We can't let you die. We'll do everything for you. We'll break that wall down. We'll jump over it and save you.
Yeah, you can see there Stormskills is able to just completely take out Jackrath, and there's no, well, I don't want to say there's no counterplay here, but there's just some unfortunate positioning by Jackrath that kind of gave away that mid tower.
I think he was just really trying to go for a nice wall to cut off their path completely, so that maybe we can get a collapse going on onto Stormskills. And if you do take him out, that is a large part of the team that you could be taking out. However, U of M looking to try and finish here, but they're putting quite a bit of damage on the Slave. He's only losing about 40% of his HP. Gonna wait for that Warmogs to kick in, top his health off. But Jackrath has respawned, and U of M, it looks like they're going to be content with just taking the second inhibitor, but Stormskill's running out of mana, and they're going to try and go for the engage. Yeti going right in, and the flank coming in from Andrew as well. They want to try and kill Stormskills, but he's still alive. But the Shockwave, oh, getting flashed away from Limitless. Very nicely played, but here's Andrew just stuck between three members, and Jack is going to try and come back in, but Stormskills is dead, so but now it's up to Zev. There's the other damage threat, and he comes in with a triple kill, 6-1 and 8, and Slade just gonna try and solo out Limitless, and not gonna be enough damage, gets away, but here's a quadra kill coming in from Zev. Will he be able to get the Penta? Few more auto attacks, just getting the chased out. Bioelectric Barrage will be enough, finally gets the Penta kill onto Zeb for U of M.
Pentakill for the Kog'Maw as the killing comp all the way through the base. A win for the University of Manitoba in game 1 of our 3-game series against the University of Pennsylvania.
And U of M says, hey, you got Stormskills, but we also have another carry you should be paying attention to. And Zev comes in with the cleanup with the sick pentakill. And it was one of those, I deserve that one, not they fed it to me. So, that was So I think we're gonna be going into a small break here, going in for Game 2 for University of Manitoba versus Pennsylvania, and we'll be right back.